It's 7 p.m. on Monday, March 17th, 2025. This is a regular meeting of the Bangor City Council. The councilor chair is not able to attend tonight, so I'm David Sevchek, the city solicitor, and I will call for a motion to elect a chair pro tem to act as chair for the rest of this meeting.
I nominate Dan Trimble.
Second.
Motion is second, with no objection. Mr. Trimble, you are the chair pro tem.
Great, I hope I can read this. Okay. We start all the meetings with the, I can read it from here, thank you, with the Pledge of Allegiance, and let's see, Tim, if you'd like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, that'd be great.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this is the portion of the meeting set aside for public comment for concerns related to city business. Public comment, whether in person or via Zoom, requires a person to state your name and whether you're a resident of Bangor. General public comment will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The general comment period will be for 15 minutes at the beginning of the meeting. The general comment period may be suspended after the 15-minute period to allow the council to conduct its business out of courtesy for those attending for a specific agenda item. The council chair has the discretion to reopen the general public comment period at the conclusion of the regular business for up to 45 additional minutes. The council chair has the discretion to alter any of the time limits. Comments should be limited to issues or concerns directly related to city business. Individuals are restricted to speaking once during the general public period, and comments will be ruled out of order relating to specific situations in litigation, individual employees, and/or employee groups discussing matters for which complaint or grievance procedures are in place. Personal disputes between the speaker and other private residents not germane to city business, support or opposition to a candidate for political office, and personnel complaints pertaining to alleged misconduct of individual employees, which are handled through a different confidential process per Maine law. Obscene, threatening, and overly repetitive remarks will be interrupted, as well as disruption and disorderly behavior that interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting. All statements should respect the dignity and seriousness of the proceedings and be directed to the chair. The public comment period is for city council members to listen. It is the council's practice to not respond or debate with persons during the public comment period. If a comment requires additional action, will it be taken up by a city council committee or followed up on by the appropriate city staff? If you do not live in Bangor or own property in Bangor, please allow those who do to have the opportunity to speak first. If you'd like to offer comment on any item related to city business not appearing on the regular agenda, you may approach the podium and or on Zoom. The public can be recognized by utilizing the hand raise function on the phone by pressing *9. So we're not, did you say we're not on Zoom? We're not on Facebook?
It's not on Facebook.
So everything still
Yes.
goes for that, okay. So anybody in the room that'd like to speak in a public comment? Emily?
I'm Emily Ellis. I'm a resident, a realtor, a landlord, and a developer. $182,400 spent by the city on 6 building plans from an architectural firm out of Scarborough. Why would we ever do that? We have building plans to code at the code department for every single home built here, a requirement for a permit. Last year, our crew built 81% of all new construction sold in Bangor, 27 of 33 single-family homes. I assure you, I'd have happily provided the city with any building plans desired in one afternoon at Hammond Lumber for free. Most builders purchase land and have in mind what they think best suits the topography. They choose not to have an architect because of cost, and plans are more difficult to read, and they don't always work on the site. Many builders have made the move from Bangor to more receptive towns, nicer to work, and towns where permits cost you 1/3 of what you pay here, and they appreciate what you do. paying architects to ensure the designs blend into existing housing. Bangor is a complete mosaic of styles. When the city takes a lead on something that should be done in the private sector, money gets wasted. 2 years ago, we spent $75,000 on a report to tell us we need housing. Please stop. We are a small city. We need to operate that way. Utilize those of us already in the game with a proven track record. This costs nothing, and it's the smartest way forward. Our biggest triumphs have occurred when local business leaders stepped up. The folk festival, waterfront concerts, Arena Yes completely reinvigorated our city. Homes are needed for all those who wish to contribute their talents for the next generations, while many of us age out. Incentivize those in the arena providing successful solutions. We know who they are. Tricia Quirk, Louis Morrison, Luke McCannell, Courtney and Nick Mullins, Dwayne Williams, Zach Gilpin. They've done it all without spending $30,000 for a 655 square foot home plan. Call these team players together for a powwow. They have a vested interest and can offer a very actionable game plan moving forward based on real experience. To the city, stay in your lane. Please stay away from infrastructure and housing. It will end up costing taxpayers more and take longer to accomplish than if you allow the experts to do what they do. When I quit yelling from the sidelines, it means I'm no longer hopeful. Come on, Bangor, you can do better than this. Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Okay.
10th Annual Maine Science Festival coming up this month. My name is Michael Norton, 83 Elm Street, Apartment C. Lunar Computation Systems is the name of the company I founded in 2020. I got my first accounts receivable last week. So I'm happy about that, $17.43. It's a start. I have been censored. I'm a writer and filmmaker for 29 years of my life. That's more than half my lifetime, just by the world. So I'm wondering if the city has any resources to draw attention to the censorship problem, perhaps with the media, local television. They don't have to pay liquor licenses, for example, but they should have to pay some kind of license to do what they're doing as professionals. Because people like me shouldn't be dragged into courtrooms because of what they are doing and admonished for their behavior. And censorship, I've developed a keen ear for it in 29 years of being censored in America. And tonight's earlier meeting, I didn't hear any talk about censorship or what can be done by the city, but it would be great if the city could produce some kind of natural human resource to address that problem. Physicians today don't even know the relationship between the Earth and the Moon and the daily water cycle. And we're composed, all of us, of 70 to 80%, 77% water. Whatever that disability or disease or problem or injury, a lot of it has to do with getting the water in the right place. And I should be having 10 semesters already taught myself at any university as a professor by now, if I weren't censored for 29 years. I should have that on my resume already, but I don't. So maybe 10 semesters from now, I will have 10 semesters of teaching earth science and magnetism, because engineers too are looking to mitigate system problems, whatever their applications.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. 3 minutes.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Connor Winchenbach, and I am a real estate investor that owns property in Bangor. My business model revolves around buying destitute vacant properties, improving them to a higher-end code-compliant product where I will either rent or sell them, thus improving the neighborhood it is in and the city of Bangor as a whole. I would imagine everyone here in the council is familiar with the vacant property ordinance. I completely understand why this ordinance was voted in and is currently being enforced. As everyone can agree, vacant properties owned by financial institutions are an issue in the city. Just like any legislation that is being pushed through to create positive change, there can be key factors that get overlooked. What I'm about to bring up will show that this ordinance has a large negative effect to the community as a whole. Citing current verbiage from the ordinance in section 223-7, this article do not apply to primary residences of members of the armed forces on active duty, vacation or resort facilities, or residents of persons on extended vacations or alternative living arrangements, snowbirds. They are required to have a property manager as a form of contact if anything happens, along with their own contact information. These are the only individuals where this ordinance does not apply. After talking to David on the phone a couple weeks ago and multiple code enforcement officers, property owners are required to fill out the application and pay the initial $500 fee within 60 days of vacancy on the property. The fee then continues to grow every 6 months until the building is no longer vacant. That fee is capped at $4,000 every 6 months. Based on the current ordinance, this applies to all single-family homes that are currently listed for sale, assuming the property owners are not living in them. Even if the listed single-family home, vacant home, goes under contract the same day, the 60-day leeway period to get the $500 permit most likely ends up applying unless it is a fast cash closing. Most closings, like most people will know, will take anywhere from 45 to 90 days, and there can always be delays. Upon discussion with the city solicitor and multiple code enforcement officers, they are not actively pursuing this example because it is being sold presumably with a real estate agent. There is no verbiage in the ordinance that states that listed homes are exempt from this ordinance. This also applies to individuals that are actively renovating a property, which in turn makes the city of Bangor a better place to live for all. If working with a real estate professional is helping make these properties exempt from this ordinance, why can't working with a contractor that's actively renovating the property make that exempt as well? Upon the same discussion with the city solicitor and multiple code enforcement officers, if a vacant building has met the cap of $4,000 every 6 months and a person purchases the property, it is from my understanding, based on that conversation, that the new owner picks up where the previous owner left off in the fee structure. There's no verbiage.
Okay, thank you.
Only got a short little bit left.
Yeah,
Can finish that?
10 seconds or so.
All right, well, I'll give this to somebody else.
Okay, yeah, we
Somebody
can,
else will
you
wanna
can,
finish it.
we will
I was
get
gonna say, do you want me to
distributed to all
copy
of
it
us,
for you?
yeah.
And then return the water?
That would be great.
Okay, I can do that.
And we actually, just so you know, we did discuss this issue at the committee meeting 2 weeks ago, so it's being looked into, but thank you for bringing it to the attention tonight. Anybody else on the public comment? In person or on the phone is Doug Dunbar. Go ahead, Doug.
Yep, can you hear me, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to talk about homelessness. And as some of you know, I oversee a small nonprofit organization called Penobscot County Cares. And we've been working with many other agencies and organizations.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
What's this, sir?
We have people that are online that are residents of Bangor that should be speaking first.
Oh, sure.
Nobody else has recognized this. Nobody else had their hand up, right? He was the only one with a hand up.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Is it okay, Dan?
Yeah, continue, please, yeah.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Penobscot County Cares, small nonprofit. I oversee it and been working in the encampment and elsewhere with individuals who are homeless. We've been fortunate to partner with Penquist on one of our initiatives to get phones into the hands of caseworkers at agencies who then provide them to their clients, and it makes connections a lot easier, and it's led to some people becoming housed. But what I really want us to think about is the idea of criminalizing homelessness, and I'll explain very briefly what I mean. You know, with shelters in Penobscot County, which is essentially Bangor, and nearby regions regularly full, and overnight warming centers set to close, which serve roughly 75 to 100 individuals on a regular basis, the crisis of homelessness in Greater Bangor and beyond will almost certainly worsen in the coming days. And adding to the crisis, the city of Bangor prohibits people who are homeless from sleeping at night in public spaces. So with no shelter beds, no night warming centers, and no sleeping in public spaces, where should individuals and families experiencing homelessness go? Where should they sleep? In effect, homelessness is being criminalized in Bangor and other municipalities. This is not just a Bangor issue. And despite heroic efforts by caring outreach workers and determined nonprofits, including Penobscot County Cares, to house individuals or to get them toward housing from the encampment and elsewhere, woefully insufficient planning and resource allocation on the part of the city of Bangor, Penobscot County, the state, the federal government in recent years has contributed significantly to this deep, tragic crisis. And again, it's going to get worse in the coming days because, as I said, we have no shelter beds generally. Our night warming centers are closing. It's against the ordinances in Bangor to sleep in public spaces. And so we've essentially criminalized homelessness, and we have hundreds of people who are unhoused. So I'll keep, I guess, beating the drum and hope, hope that we'll make more progress. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Doug. Consent agenda, please.
Minutes of City Council meeting of February 24th, 2025. Business and Economic Development Committee meetings of February 19th, 2025 and March 3rd, 2025. Finance Committee meetings of February 19th, 2025 and March 3rd, 2025. Government Operations Committee meeting of March 3rd, 2025 and Infrastructure Committee meeting of February 19th, 2025. 25-084 order authorizing the city manager to accept $500 grant award from the Rotary Club of Bangor breakfast for the purchase of supplies for Bangor's postpartum and breastfeeding support group called Milk and Cookies. 25-085 order authorizing the city manager to accept a $2,000 donation from the Walmart Community Grant Program for the purchase of training equipment for the Police Department Patrol K-9 Unit. 25-086 order authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with Wabanaki Public Health and Community Services for a syringe waste program. 25-087 order appointing constable for the year 2025. 25-088 order acknowledging receipt of the official results of the February 25th, 2025 special election, District 24. 25-089 order authorizing the city manager to apply for grant funding from Maine Health Access Foundation grant to plan a program to assist individuals without immediate access to primary care. 25-090 order authorizing an application to the John T. Gorman Foundation for grant funding to help address the immediate basic needs of people experiencing the adverse effects of poverty. 25-091 order amending the City of Bangor remote meeting participation policy. 25-092 resolve authorizing the city manager to file applications with the Federal Transit Administration for federal transportation assistance authorized by 49 U.S.C. Chapter 53, Title 23, United States Code, or other federal statutes administered by the Federal Transit Administration.
Thank you. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second, and without any objection, the consent agenda has passage. Referrals to committee and first reading.
25-093 ordinance amending Chapter 165 Land Development Code District Map to rezone a property located at 44 Center Street from Urban Residence 2 District to Downtown Development District. First reading and referral to planning board meeting on March 18th, 2025.
Motion on this item?
Motion to refer to committee?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Without any objection, this item has referral. New unfinished business.
25-079 ordinance amending Chapter 165 Land Development Code District Map to rezone a property located at 870 Broadway from High Density Residential District HDR to Shopping and Personal Service District SCPS. Councilor Fish.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd like to move item number 25-079.
So moved.
This ordinance would amend the Land Development Code District Map to rezone the property at map lot R41-001-C located at 870 Broadway from High Density Residential District HDR to Shopping and Personal Service District S&PS. The total area requested to be changed is approximately 7.93 acres. The applicant and owner of record is 850 Broadway LLC, care of Nate Friedman. This area is within the growth boundary shown in the 2022 comprehensive plan, and the future land use map in the plan shows the property in the neighborhood residential area, which consists of medium-density residential development with limited commercial and institutional uses that are complementary to the surrounding residential land uses. This item was reviewed and unanimously approved at the planning board meeting on March 4th, 2025.
Any discussion on this item? Anybody from the public? This has been moved and seconded, and seeing no objection, this item has passage, and that concludes tonight's meeting. Oh, I'm sorry, it's an ordinance, requires a roll call. Thank you very much. Has not been approved yet.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
Councilor Leonard?
Yes.
Councilor Mallon?
Yes.
Councilor Trumbull?
That's unanimous and has approval. Thank you, and that concludes the meeting. Any final comments from city staff? Councilor Beck?
Good night.
Councilor Dean?
Good night, Bangor.
Councilor Leonard?
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Have a good evening.
Councilor Fournier?
Just want to say a couple words. We lost an incredible individual last week, Cliff Eames, a person of the highest integrity, a person that's held leadership positions within not only businesses, but nonprofits throughout the city of Bangor. Cliff is going to be missed, and he had always lived in Bangor, and he just represented what Bangor was all about.
Councilor Mallon?
No, good evening.
Councilor Fish?
I thought you were going to forget
No,
me
no,
there.
I'm good.
I just want to thank the developers and investors in the real estate, people that we have that come in here tonight to speak to us, and you're investing in Bangor, you're our future. And I welcome you to come in and speak up. I know we still need to work to improve our relationship. And I know for myself as one, I look forward to that, whatever I can do to help the communication between our department, code and planning, and the betterment of Bangor's future. I welcome that, so thank you for coming in. Let us know what we can do to help improve that relationship. So thank you and good night.
I was just going to say good night, but I will add that at our previous meeting, we did have an item where we're going to lower development fees substantially. So that was one great thing to spur development, so I just want to pass that along. And with that, good night, everyone. Thank you.